Hey guys, it's Miss Foley, and today we're going to be reading a story called Val and Pup. So, this is not a long story, but these stories, what's so important is they have a lot of words that we can sound out and that they help us become better readers. So, let's get started and review what our story is going to be about and learn some of the words ahead of time that we're going to see in this story. So we know this story is going to be about Val and Pop. Val and Pop. So it tells us Val and Pop go for a hike in the forest. What animals might Val and Pop see in the forest? What animals do you think they might see in the forest? Think about it. Make a prediction. Now let's look at our words to read. So these are words that we're going to see in the story. We're going to see this word, dust, up, hops, owl, val, and yells, yells. So dust, hops, val, and yells. And our sight words that we will find in the story, our sight words are always in yellow. They're like highlighted in the story. So when we get to these words, we got to know them in a snap. We will see came, gave, and won. Came, gave, and won. So what we're going to do today is we're going to read this story together. So I know that this story is not just right for everyone. So there's a couple of things that you could do for this story. If you think that you can read this story and you don't need my help, you could mute me while I'm reading and you could read instead of listening to me. Or what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be echo reading. So I'll read the page, you read the page. That's what we're going to be doing today in my video. The other option that you could do is if I'm going too fast for you, you could also mute me or pause the video and you could practice sounding out the words slower. So you have to figure out which one would be best for you. Should you go a little bit slower? Should you stay with me? Or can you read it on your own and you're fine to just mute me and read it? You got to decide that. And now we're going to get started reading. So here we go. Our story is called Val, Owl, and Pop. Pop. Val and Pop. Now you try it. Val. Very good. All right. We're going to look at this first page right here. Let's look. Do you see any highlighted yellow sight words? Not on this page, but I do see Pop and Val a lot. So we know that when we see Pop and Val, we can read that very easily. Let's also pay attention to our exclamation points and our periods because that helps us add to the story and read it like the teacher. Here we go. Pop, yells Val. Your turn. Pop. See the snake on that stone? Your turn. See the Pop nods. What does a nod mean? Like this. Shake your head. Yes. Pop nods. Yes, Val. Your turn. Pop nods. Yes, Val. All right, let's keep going. Now before we start reading, we're going to take a second to look at the pictures in this story. So we see Pop and we see Val, and they're looking at the grass. I wonder why they're looking at the grass. But what are they both? They have think bubbles. What are they both thinking of? What animal is that? Oh, it's a deer. Deer. So think of that word. We might see that word in our story. A deer. Now, let's look at our highlighted words. We see some highlighted words in this story, and that means that these words are sight words. So I see came, and I see won. So when we see those, we can read those in a snap. All right, let's get started echo reading. Val sees a flat spot. Vowel. Good job, echo reading. All right. What animal? A deer came by and had a nap here, said Pop. So a deer came by and had a nap here. Let's read it together. A deer came by and had a, said Pop. Very good. Now let's go on to this page. Val sees a hole. Ooh, a hole in the ground. Val sees a hole. Your turn. Val. Sight word. One fox hops out. Read it with me with excitement because it's an exclamation point. One fox hops out. Pop. A fox den. Read it with me. Pop. A fox, yells Val. Pop. What does he do again? Nods. Pop nods. So Val sees a flat spot and they think a deer came by and had a nap here. And then one fox hops out and they think, oh my goodness, it's a fox den. Let's keep going. Ooh, let's look at these pictures carefully. Pop and Val, what animal are they thinking about this time? A mouse, right. And then she's looking at something on the ground. I don't know what she's looking at. Let's read to find out. Val sees dots in the dust. Read that one with me. Val sees dots. Were they made by mice, Pop? So she's asking a question. Were they made by mice, Pop? Let's read it together. Were they made by mice, Pop? Yes, mice feet, said Pop. Read that last sentence with me. Yes, mice feet, said Pop. Let's come over here. Pop, see that spot? She's asking a question. Pop, see that spot? Yells Val. Read it with me. Pop, see that spot? Yells Val. Yes, it was made by a snake that hops, jokes Pop. He's joking. Yes, it was made by a snake that hops, jokes Pop. So now they see mice and they know a snake was there. Let's keep going. We got one more page. There's Val and Pop, and they look like, I don't know, they look like they're looking at that walking stick. Let's see. Then Pop gave one tap with his pole. Read it with me. Then Pop gave one tap with his pole. It made a spot. Read it with me. It made a spot. You did it, yells Val. Pop nods. Read that last part with me. You did it, yells Val. Pop nods. So, you guys did a really great job reading this story with me. I know maybe I was going a little fast for some of you, but maybe I was going too slow for some of you. So you have to decide what's just right for you with some of these books. And sometimes you might have to just stop the video. And if you know, oh, I can read this on my own, or, oh, Miss Foley's just going a little too fast for me. That's the great thing about a video is you can pause it and the words are still on the screen. So you can read the video or read the page on your own, sounding out each word slowly. But before we go on, I have a couple questions for you. And oh my goodness, this is very blurry. Let's see if we can fix it. So my first question for you is, who are the two characters in our story? Who are the two characters? We have Val and Pop. Right. What made that flat spot at the beginning of the story? What made that flat spot in the grass? And they were like, we know what animal was here. What made that flat spot? Right, a deer laid down. Do you remember what the deer did? Laid down and took a nap. Good job. What hops out of the hole? Do you remember? What hops out of the hole? A fox hops out of the hole. Very good. What do the mice make? What do the mice make? They make little tiny dots, right? In the dust. They make dots in the dust. Was there a hopping snake? Do you remember that part when Pop says, "Oh, it must have been one of those hopping snakes"? Do you remember? Was there really a hopping snake? No. How do you know that? Right, because it said Pop was joking, and if he was joking, that means he was just being silly. There's no such thing as a hopping snake. So, what do they find out made all those teeny tiny little spots? What really made those spots? Not that hopping snake, but what was it? It was Pop's pole, right? It had like a little thing on the end. And when he put it in the ground, it made little dots. And they figured out, oh, it wasn't the hopping snake, it was Pop's pole. I'm so proud of you guys for trying so hard to read this story. These stories can be tough sometimes, and they do make us better readers because we take the time to sound out the words. So great job. And if you need to rewind this video and watch it again, feel free to do that.